AITA for yelling at my mother for allowing my sister to keep and raise her baby? I, 21F, have an older sister, Sarah, 25F, who has Down syndrome. Her mental age is around 8 years old and she lives with our mom. She is the kindest person I know and I love her so much. It's still an ongoing legal case, so please understand I can't reveal any details, but something horrible happened almost 3 months ago. A man who we all trusted drugged Sarah and SA'd her. He even tucked her back into bed. She doesn't remember much, just that when she woke up she felt sore and there was some blood on her sheets. Mom was very worried and took her to the ER where they found his DNA. He was arrested and currently we're still in the process of sending him to prison for as long as possible. I despise him for doing this to her. I guess the one small blessing is that Sarah only has a vague memory of the actual assault since she was so out of it. Of course she's still very traumatized and we've had her in intensive therapy. I go to college a few states over so it took me a little while to find a flight back to my hometown. I've decided to take a few months off from school so I can support Sarah in her recovery. I'm happy to do so and I know she appreciates it. I've been by her side the whole time and I actually haven't seen Mom too often. She's very busy working extra shifts and everything to support us. We've always struggled with money, not to mention some legal and medical bills that we've gotten stuck with. Plus she's the one who's been filing all the paperwork and everything. I offered to get a job or do some paperwork to help her out, but she said she wants my only focus to be by Sarah's side. A few days ago I was shocked when she sat Sarah and I down to say that Sarah is pregnant. We were stunned and Sarah began to cry. I really wish Mom had talked with me so we could reveal the news as gently as possible. To my complete shock, Mom said that the baby is a blessing in disguise and that Sarah would make a fantastic mother. Sarah began to hyperventilate so the conversation ended quickly. After I was able to call her and get her to sleep I confronted Mom. She confessed that she has actually known Sarah is pregnant for a couple weeks now. They took a test in the hospital a little while ago when I was out for a day. Apparently Mom noticed some early pregnancy symptoms. I have no idea why the hospital staff didn't inform Sarah herself. I'm planning to investigate why they didn't even give her the morning after pill or anything because what the hell? I'm seriously considering filing a lawsuit because the way the hospital handled this doesn't feel right at all. I got upset and said a baby is the last thing Sarah needs right now. Mom wouldn't listen and just said we should listen to Sarah. We went back and forth for a while until I gave up and said we'd talk in the morning. The next morning Sarah said she wanted to keep and raise the baby herself after Mom went to work. I asked if she was sure. She ended up confessing that Mom had come into her room the previous night after I'd fallen asleep. She talked to her for a long time talking about how nothing is more healing than a mother's love and that babies are an adorable blessing. She also said how Sarah will be a fantastic mom and that she would help her the entire time. Also that anyone who says otherwise is mocking her and basically saying she could never be a good mother. She said when Sarah holds her child, any doubts will wash away. Sarah seemed very nervous, but said the way Mom is describing motherhood seems wonderful. I had no idea what to say. I tried to gently show my concern but she got mad and said she's not a baby anymore. That it's cruel how I don't believe in her. I reassured her that I believed in her endlessly and that I love her so much. That calmed her down and we went about our day. Later when Mom came home we got into a pretty big argument. I demanded to know what she was thinking by doing this. It was jaw-dropping when she immediately confessed that this baby is her only chance at having a grandchild. I'm lesbian and Sarah will need to live with Mom for the rest of her life. She went on to ramble about how she'd help Sarah with everything and was sure Sarah would love and bond with her child. The grandchild thing really pissed me off and I raised my voice. Sarah has the mind of a child and doesn't truly understand the situation. Pregnancy would be really hard on her physically. Even if she did give birth, this is not a good place for a baby to raise. Mom yelled back before I snapped and screamed how Sarah is in no way capable of caring for this child, even with her own support. I was shocked when Sarah came out from the hallway. She wanted some water and overheard everything. She sobbed and said she can do this even without her support. She was angry at me for coddling her as well. She ran up the stairs and Mom followed. I feel like Sarah isn't thinking clearly because Mom pressured her into having and keeping this child. I love Sarah and regret hurting her. AITA? Edit. Thank you all for the advice. The only thing I'm sure is that I want to advocate for the best life possible for Sarah. After the attack I flew in a few days later. The hospital was Catholic, and we live in a conservative area, so now that I think about it I think it's likely that they didn't give her the morning after pill because of their beliefs. I'm not sure about the laws around religious hospitals so I don't really know if that's legal or not.